Hello everyone, we are team number 2, conformed by Ana Victoria Martinez, Paulina Urquiza, José Alberto Lomelí, and me, David Madrid. We are going to present how to behave while teaching in a video game. Well, as you know, in the middle of the 21st century, we have found the different problems in virtual media, specifically with online courses in where students can take online classes in order to finish their careers. In some cases, students can choose the mode face-to-face or virtual, but nowadays, due to the COVID-19 pandemic threat, all the classes around the globe must be online. It represents a challenge for the teachers and the students, so there is a guide to help teachers to know by students how to prepare and do an online class.
Hello, I will give you some important advices about your body language when you are speaking on a video call. As you may know, body language is very important because sometimes it says even more than the words you're saying. It shows how confident you are and how much you know about the topic you are speaking about. One very important point is to pay attention of the angle the camera is recording. For example, the one that I'm using right now is the more common, that is from your chest to your head. And you can see my lower body, but usually the cameras in video calls always record like this frame. Also try to look directly to the camera the most time you can. I understand sometimes you need to read something, but it's important to look at the camera so the people that are watching you feel like they are having an eye contact with you. Also, it's very important the posture. You have to be seated all the time. Try to avoid being standing up or, for example, laying in your bed because it shows that how important is to you the video call. Also, the use of the hands is very important because if you are just all the time just sitting and speaking, it will be very boring for your audience. So if you, instead of that, use your hands to show emotions and expressions, it will be more fun for the people that are watching you. Also, try to keep a moderate smile all the time, but just be moderate because if you are smiling very big all the time and looking directly to the camera, you will look kind of weird. Also, ask your students to turn on their cameras, because if they feel like they're being watched, they will pay more attention and they will behave better than if they're just with their cameras off, because they can be somewhere else and just with the video call in the computer. And last but not least, pay attention to the place where you are teaching, where you are recording, because you have to pay attention, for example, to the lights, that people can see you well and clearly, and try, for example, with a clear background, just like a white wall, for example, or also like you have like an office in your house with a bookshelf. It also works very well. Another important point in video calls is the volume of your voice. So always when you're starting to speak, ask the audience if they can hear you well, and try to keep the same volume and the same pitch of your voice all the call. Avoid external noises that could distract, like music, streets, or maybe dogs barking. And you can do that by asking the participants to turn off their microphone if they are not currently speaking. Also, something that works very well is this kind of big headphones with a microphone close to your mouth, because the quality of the voice is way better with that microphones than with the ones that come just regularly with computers and webcams.
About the pace. Number 1, identify the three types of pace: slow, fast, and moderate. Number 2, depending on the topic and the complexity, modulate your speaking pace so that the students can understand. Number 3, keep a slow pace when you talk about importance, sadness, confusion, or introducing a new ideas. 4, keep a fast pace when you talk about emotion, passion, or indication of urgency. And 5, alternate the different levels of pace to avoid making the class boring.
Expression. Make sure you have the theme prepared and rehearsed before starting the session. If your subject requires some mathematical operation or grading, make sure you have a blackboard in front of your camera. This way your students will be learn more. Then try to have support material. This way your class will be more dynamic and less heavy, like a Kahoot or have some paper in the backyard, something like that. Then we have eye contact. In this, it's more difficult to have eye contact with the class because it's a video class, so more of the students didn't want to have their camera on. So I will tell you some suggestions. First one is always make sure you have your camera on. This way your students can pay a little more attention. As a suggestion, when you roll call, ask your students to turn on their camera a little to have a light conversations with them and make the eye contact with your student. Ask some questions directly to a students about the topic. In this way, the class participate more and you will know that they are attentive. Like, I don't know, Pedro, what is this something? Mariana,
As a teacher, you should consider the feedback of your students in order to know your SWOT analysis. Also, if you don't know how to use the virtual media and how to prepare your online class, you must ask for professional help in the campus or search correct information that help you in you want. This will help you to do your work well and to teach properly your students by long distance. Also, it is important to express clearly to your students if you don't know how to use the virtual media. Being honest will sensitize the relation and you could ask them for help.